I don't even want to answer this question, honestly. Hey guys, it's Mackenzie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hey. I have never filmed in the car before. I wanted to film this Q&A with you guys and just answer some of your guys' questions. If you're not subscribed, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications, and like this video if you end up liking it. Hopefully it's fun and a little bit different than what we usually do. And maybe it's just fun to change things up every once in a while. I got a ton of responses and I want to be able to answer as many of them as I can. So I have some about faith, life, school, family, personal stuff, all of that. Do you have good relationships with your siblings? And if so, what are some practical tips for me? Yes, I have really great relationships with my siblings, and that is something I'm so thankful for. And as I get older, I just realize how incredible those relationships are, and the fact that I'm able to have those kind of relationships with my siblings, that I know a lot of people aren't. So it's important to be able to pour into your siblings. So I guess if I had any practical tips, it would just be pour into your siblings. Take time to be intentional with them. Do things with them, do things that they like to do. That's something I struggle with because sometimes I just want to do what I want to do. But I think that's something that, like, if you really want to have a good relationship with your sibling, take time to show interest in their hobbies and their activities that they do. Is dating okay? Yes. I think that dating is great with the intent of marriage or marrying that person that you're dating. So I have many different views on this topic and on this subject, and I think I could literally do an entire video on just this one question. But I think if I'm just keeping it short, dating is to find your spouse, and if you're just dating someone who you don't see yourself marrying, you're just really honestly practicing for divorce. And that's a really hard thing to say, but if you can't see yourself marrying the person that you're interested in, it's probably not a good idea to date them. What is your biggest insecurity and how do you deal with it? That's a really hard question for me. I have a lot of insecurities that I deal with, and all of them are very different. I think most girls can attest to the fact that in some way, shape, or form, they have some sort of insecurity about their bodies. I have been dealing with acne for a while, which is not something I used to deal with, and so that has been an insecurity for me lately. But also I have, like, personality insecurities. Like, there's things about me that I'm like, oh, I wish I just could, like, kind of hone that in, or I wish maybe I was funnier, or maybe I was less awkward, or, you know, little things like that. But I think it's important to remember that although you have those insecurities, you were created the way you were created for a reason, and everything that you see wrong with yourself is uniquely designed within you. Biggest lesson you've learned in 2020 so far? For me, the biggest lesson I've been learning in 2020 so far is control. I love to have control over everything, and I love to have control over my life, and to be able to feel like I can decide what's happening and decide where I'm going and what I'm doing and how my life is being planned. But really, over the past few weeks, God's just been, like, showing me, like, Mackenzie, you need to be flexible, because my plan is my plan, and it's so much better than, like, what you have planned for yourself. And when little things start to go wrong, like, one thing that I've been struggling with within the past few days is with the coronavirus going around, there have been, like, schools are closing, businesses are closing, and so it is kind of scary for me because I don't know what's going on right now within my community, and I can't just go about my everyday life in the same way right now because we are pretty much in our house for the most part, just for health reasons, you know, and just for safety. But for me, it's just being able to learn that God is in control, and even when I think I'm in control, I'm really not. God's still in control, and just being able to give him control every day and just surrendering that to him. How old are you? I am 17 years old. How do I get involved in church? So whenever I've gotten involved with churches that my family has become members of, what I do is most of the time at church services, they'll have those connection cards, and they have, like, a little section where you can leave, like, a note or something. And I just leave my name and I say, hey, I would love to know more about serving in blah blah blah, or I would love to know more about attending blah blah blah. And most of the time, 9.9 times out of 10, they'll send you an email back within that weekend. They'll say, hey, we would love to have a meeting with you about serving on, like, for me, it's usually the worship team. I would love to have a meeting with you about the worship team, how we do that, blah blah blah. And then from there, you just kind of go with it. So I would just be upfront with what you want to, like, how you want to serve and how you want to get involved. if you're going to a church and you really feel on board with what this church's mission is and what they're doing, then go out and be upfront and say, hey, I want to serve. I want to be partners with you guys in reaching the community and sharing the gospel. Do you have any friends that are not Christians? Yes, I do. I think it's important to have friends that are both Christians and not Christians, because obviously you want your closest friends to be Christians, because they're going to be the people that are influencing your life and your decisions and giving you advice and all of that. So you want those people to be like-minded. But I also do have a lot of really good friends who are not Christians, and I love them so dearly as people, and they're just amazing, amazing people. And I'm not friends with them to convert them. I'm friends with them because I love them as people, and they're just truly incredible. I struggle with depression. How do I overcome it? I think most people do at some point. Most people struggle with depression at some point, and it's a hard thing to deal with. But I've definitely dealt with it at different seasons of my life. I think for me, just surrounding myself with people who genuinely love you and show you that you are loved and show you the incredible value that you have, get in God's word, keep yourself busy, because I feel like if you have too much time to just sit around and dwell in that depression, it's going to be really, really hard for you to get out of it. So commit yourself to serving people, to loving people, and get busy. Find a hobby, do something that you enjoy, spend time with your family, and talk about it with someone. What is one thing your mom has taught you? My mom has taught me so much, and I'm so incredibly thankful for her, but I think if there was one thing specifically that my mom has taught me that I'm like really, really grateful for is she's taught us to be really hard workers. My mom is the hardest working woman I know, and she's taught us that when life gets hard, not to give up. When God asks you to do something hard, don't give up. Just do it, because obviously his blessings are going to be so much like more worth it than we can realize, and even if it is hard in the process, like that's so worth it. And so I think if anything, my mom has taught me to be a hard worker, and I couldn't be more grateful for that, because she's taught me just to keep persevering when things get tough. Have you always been pro-life, and what does that mean to you? I do not support abortion. I think that abortions are wrong and that they are murder, but to me, being pro-life is more than that. To me, being pro-life means that I believe that all humans have value. All humans have equal value, and they deserve to be treated as though they do, from womb to tomb. So I think that being pro-life to me means I don't discriminate because of race, or if you're male or female, or what you look like, or what you wear, how you dress. Like, that to me doesn't matter. You are a person, and you have value. You are loved because you are created by the Father, and so you deserve to be treated as though you have value. How are you keeping healthy while indoors? So I had posted something on my Instagram about just like being indoors with my family just because of the sicknesses going around, and honestly, we're not doing anything that different. We're washing our hands more, being more careful about like not touching our faces as much. But I mean, I don't know, if you're not in your home and you are still like going out and all that kind of stuff, just wash your hands. Be really, really careful. Don't put anything in your mouth. Don't put your hands in your mouth, and you should be good. Wash your hands constantly. If you can, wear gloves, and even if you can, wear a mask if you're going out. So I know that sounds crazy, but be safe. Tea or hot chocolate? Definitely tea. What's your go-to coffee order? Iced caramel latte. Do you drink as much coffee as you show that you do online? Yes. Honestly, I'm guilty of this. I drink more coffee in real life than I show online. I post all the time. If you go to my Instagram, you see that probably half of my posts are with a cup of coffee in my hand or a cup of coffee on a table. I typically drink 2 to 3 cups a day. How do you deal with hate comments or mean people on social media? So I was actually dealing with this a lot. I have started receiving some really like mean hate comments, whether it be on Instagram or YouTube or whatever it's on. I just received some really mean comments or like DMs and stuff like that of like just saying really mean and not true things about me. But it does hurt. It really, really hurts. And honestly, I care way too much about what people think of me. But something I had to remind myself, and that my friends reminded me of when I went to them, and I was just like, hey, I'm really hurting today, because yesterday I think I got like 5 or 6 comments on different YouTube videos I actually had to delete the comments off of and turn off commenting. I'm making content that I love. I'm making content that I'm passionate about, and I put so much effort into my work. And if someone has the time of day to sit through an entire video of mine and then send me a comment or a message telling me how ugly I am, or how fake I am, or how I'm disempowering people, how I'm just not sharing truth, whatever they want to say about me, if they have the time to make a comment like that, they must be in a really, really dark place. So kind of what I've decided to do is just to pray for those people every single time I get a mean comment or someone unfollows me because I made them mad by something I said in a video or something I posted about. I think I have to remember that they're probably in a dark place, and maybe they just honestly don't agree with me, and that's fine. Not everybody has to agree with me, and I understand I'm a very blunt person when it comes to what I post on social media. I definitely do not beat around the bushes. That's not my thing. I will tell you straight up how I feel about something or what I'm passionate about. And so I think that's something I'm just reminding myself. So how do I deal with hate comments or mean people on social media? Not very well, but I'm learning, and that would be another thing I'm really learning this year, is just that not everybody has to like me. You know, not everybody's going to like me, and to expect that of myself, to like make every single person that watches my videos like me, that's ridiculous. Those were all the questions that I have time to answer today. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of video. I will be posting more and more videos as weeks progress because, like I said, we are in our house most of the time, so I have a lot of time to film and edit, and I'm really excited about that. Thanks for watching. I love you, and I will see you guys later.